If it's bull or bear, I don't care. It's quite a rough ride, just like life. But I'm kind of patient, 'cause only time will tell. It's gonna go up, so you better stay calm. And crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. Crow your coins, crow your coins. Crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. Crow your coins, crow your coins. Crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins. Crow your coins, crow your coins. Crow your coins, you gotta crow your coins.
What's up? I don't even know where to look. It's Monday, ladies and gents. I see everybody in chat. I see Heather Starbuck popping up. Darren N's been in chat for a while. See Brandon Lopez. I think that might have been from another time. I'm not sure. But anyway, what's up, everybody? Nice to see you guys in chat and hanging out with me today. Aloha. What the hell up, Buttercup? What up, Jack Martin, Mr. Ghost, Stranger? Bitcoin for your thoughts. I'm going to hold you to that, Adamar. I'm about to give you my thoughts. So, excusez-moi. Parlez-vous français? So here we go. So look at it, stuff. I have been playing a lot with this market cipher indicator from CryptoFace, and it really is pretty badass stuff, and it's pretty complicated too. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. I'm not even going to try and explain any of it right now. It's not what this video is about. But I'm like really digging this, like no joke. I still want to, there's still so much that I want to learn, and I've been going through the videos. I'm going to be making notes, and I'm going to really start doing some back testing with this thing, because I think it really does have legs, and there's a lot to it. And I've noticed that a lot of the different signals coincide with the market God indicator as well, which is kind of, you can see the buy sell signals. These are market God signals. Everything else, I have everything else turned off except for the three market cipher indicators. It's a pricey ass indicator though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think they would do much better charging less and selling a hell of a lot more, because then that popularity of people sharing their signals and their calls and things like that would drive a lot more traffic. I think it would grow exponentially if they were to lower the price on this. I think it's like 0.1 Bitcoin, which is just, honestly, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, you know, the idea is, well, look, this is so good that people are going to make so much money using the indicator that it's worth it. And, you know, sure, maybe that's the case, but if you want mass adoption and you want a lot of people to use it, you got to lower that price. It's better to make, you know, 50,000 customers happy with, you know, 0.01 Bitcoin. I'm just saying something, rather than have like 50 people paying 0.1 Bitcoin. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, I'll be letting people know, because I'm going to be diving into this deeper, and I'm going to kind of really pull this apart once I've really learned it. But look, we're at 92.60 right now, and you know, there's a lot of two-way streets going on right now. There are a lot of people saying get ready to short. There are a lot of people saying we're going to see 10,000 soon. I'm saying, personally, now throughout this whole video, I want to remind everybody, you're coming in late, a couple other people in here. If you're coming in late, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who spends his days reading and learning, sharing what I learn, and sharing my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do anything I freaking say. This isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I know you guys know the drill by now. You guys know how this shit works, but we're all like legally obligated to continue pushing that. This is a market cipher indicator, Terry, or DJed. And so this whole video is basically just a lot of opinion and to share ideas, and it's to show people, look, you could potentially get a Bitcoin for $1,000 if you were buying in with fiat today. And I'm going to explain some of that process and what's possible. But I'm seeing a lot of people talking about, take profit at Bitcoin around 10,000. Why? This is the question I have to ask people. We are on an uptrend, whether it's not necessarily a parabolic bull uptrend. Now, here we are on a daily, okay? Look at this. Why the freak would you sell your Bitcoin right now? This is called an up channel, an upward channel, whatever the hell. Basically, this is price going up over a significant period of time. I started this is March 19th. March, April, May, June, 3 solid months of uptrend. Why the hell would you try to swing trade Bitcoin right now? I know a lot of people are looking at the price action and they're thinking it's got to pull back. It's got to pull back. It's got to pull back. Yes, and it has. We had a little bit of a pullback here, a little bit of a pullback here, a pretty significant pullback here, and away we're going. These pullbacks are healthy, but trying to time these pullbacks, look, if you want to actively swing trade something, my non-advice, my ignorant opinion is swing trade something else. Swing trade something that your losses and your gains aren't going to be quite so significant, especially if you're learning, because I'm telling you now, the swings that could happen could wreck your face. Bitcoin could pull back to $7,000 tomorrow morning and then 3 hours later be at 11 grand. And you would be wrecked. You're screwed. There's nothing you can do about it. And that is what Bitcoin is known for. It's that volatility that's great in some regard, especially if you're an actively trained, seasoned professional at trading and swing trading. Look, I've done it. I've made some significant gains and I've lost some. I basically say, okay, of all the swing trades I've tried to make, of everything I've tried to do to try and improve my Bitcoin position over the past year and a half or so, I probably averaged itself out. My losses against my gains. I had some really good gains. At one point I was up half a Bitcoin in profit. And then I lost a big chunk of that in one improperly timed swing trade. And it's just like at this point, look, it was a learning experience and it was fun. And I'm one of those people like, look, if I'm going to be out here giving advice, not giving advice, if I'm going to be out here sharing my opinion, it's difficult for me to trust people that aren't actively trading. People that are calling shit all the time, but they're not trading it, tells me they're not confident in their own calls. And so I'm not going to listen to them, and I'm not going to do what the hell they're saying because they don't even trust their own technical analysis or their own gut instinct on what's coming. So, look, at this point, I see Bitcoin hitting 13 grand soon. We're growing so quickly and there's so much going on. People are starting to perk up. Media is starting to build. Everything is coming. Everything is starting to come to fruition. Everything we've been waiting on now throughout this entire bear market is starting to happen. Bit by bit by bit. Backed. That's happening. All of the stuff that we've been talking about for a year and a half is now finally coming. And some of these guys are talking about short Bitcoin at 10,000. To me, that just sounds nonsensical. I don't get that. If we know and we believe that Bitcoin is likely going to hit 20,000 soon, or 50,000, or potentially $80,000 to $140,000 over the next year, why would you even risk losing parts of your position? So, I believe we are probably going to hit 10,000 soon. And then we're probably going to get a little bit of a correction because of everybody saying short, sell, take profit. But basically what you're doing for the layman's, for the person that's just reading, for a person that's just reading stuff like this on TradingView and you're looking at people's ideas as to what they expect to happen on the Bitcoin price action, short term, long term, if you're trading this data, I mean, there's a reason why you've got some people saying long, some people saying short. Somebody's wrong, folks. Somebody's always wrong. And with that, what you're ultimately doing is when you're selling into the hands of a trader in these kinds of circumstances. You're selling into the hands of somebody buying because they know more than you. And more often than not, these seasoned pros, these guys know exactly what they're doing, and they're staring at their charts 10 hours a day. They're sitting here drinking, charting every coin on the market, looking for scalp trades, looking for swing trades, and they're on it. It's more likely than not that you're not as on it. You're going to sell it, and you're going to wake up tomorrow and see how things are. You're not studying these charts like a full-time job. So, at this point, the goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin. Do that in any way you can, legally, obviously, but that's the name of the game now. It's to accumulate more, not lose parts of your Bitcoin because you're making bad swing trades, okay? So I do believe that we're probably going to see 13,000 soon. I think that is going to be much more likely than a dip down to 6,000. Well, there's just too much momentum. I mean, the volume is good. Everything is good. So that's that. So, there's some other stuff, and I'm going to show you. I guess I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to show you exactly what I got going on here. Let me, and man, crowmining.com. Jeez, oh Pete, we're selling miners every day. It's like nuts, literally nutso. So. Let me look at chat real quick. Wow, almost 330 people in here. Make sure you smash that like. Post some comments once this video goes up. CryptoFace puts his money where his mouth is. You can watch his trades and trade with him. He's the real deal. I'm probably going to have him on the channel. But I told him, I said, look, if I have you on the channel, you're going to have to the mask has got to go. I can't talk to somebody wearing a fucking surgical mask. I can't do it. I'm a grown-ass man. I get people have their stick. We've talked about it. He's like, look, it's, privacy concerns and this and that. But I'm like, look, man, I'd love to have you on. But I'm like, look, this is the shtick stuff. I can't deal with it. Take the mask off. We'll talk. I want to learn from him. He's a smart kid. And I think he's really got something good going, but I'm not going to talk to a surgical mask. We will probably blast through 10,000 like we did 6K and find that 40% correction closer to 12 to 13K. That actually makes more sense, Michael. I will agree with that. I think that makes more sense to what I'm seeing right now. What happened to crypto coin news? I don't know what you're talking about. I see Rolex 23 in the house with another $5 tip. And just so everybody knows, and this is totally cool, and it's one of the reasons I brought this back. The Crow Your Coin song, somebody like it was a troll was like, Crow, you said you were going to give Rena Hara and Matthew a Bitcoin for making that song. And I think I might have talked about that. I did not give them a full Bitcoin because the market started crashing. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I think I did give him like 0.2 or 0.25 Bitcoin. But the thing that people don't realize is that when I play this song, all the monetization that comes through my channel goes to them. So when the Crow Your Coin song is playing at the beginning of every video, that copyright algorithm on YouTube triggers, and all the monetization that from my videos goes to them. So I don't know how much they've made. I did give the song a break for a little while because a lot of people were like, oh, I'm tired of hearing the song every day. So I figured I'd give it a break. So, but just so you guys know, like they didn't get screwed. They're continually getting, they should be anyway. I've never seen a dime from YouTube, so I don't know how the monetization works because I've never lived off of that. Yeah, just so everybody knows, like there are a lot of trolls and stuff that don't really understand what the hell they're talking about. Crow, your thoughts why all these launches are in the summer? I thought that would be low activity. Well, I think a lot of these launches are happening right now because it's people are starting to understand Crow, I always end up watching your videos during my poo session. I love it. Well, that's great. I'm glad I could help you. Do we need to play some water music or anything like that? They've gotten more attention as well. Yeah, song good, no song bad. Yes, I love the song, and I'm probably going to change the intro to play the full song, not just the acapella version. I just really like the acapella version. It's just a cool, chill vibe. But this isn't exactly like a late night, slow your roll, let's chill together and talk till 3 a.m. about love. Rolex 23, hi everyone, hi Jason. Smash up the likes for Jason. Hard work he is doing for us. Thank you, man, I appreciate it. So anyway, wow, we're growing. All right, so let's get into this. Now, so here's what I'm going to tell you before I show this image that I made and I explain things. And I know people have seen, Supoman did a video recently that's kind of like this, but I'm going to go a little deeper than Supoman did to some regard. Oh, Crow, man, I've been watching your videos about the pivot reversal strategy. Do you have any updates? Yeah, honestly, my update is Market God has turned out to be more accurate than the pivot reversal strategy. And so I stopped using it. The pivot reversal strategy seemed to have their buys add up, but their sells way later than Market God. Market God seems to pop those sell triggers quicker on just about any time frame. So for whatever reason, Market God seemed to be ahead of the game on that. What time frame do you use Market God on? All of them. I mean, I basically start at the highest. Like I typically watch a day chart, and then if I see something happening, then I'll start to go down in the lower time frames and confirm what I'm expecting to happen. Because typically, if I'm expecting a sell signal of some kind on a daily chart, if I go to a 4-hour, that sell signal may have already happened, and then further down the line to an hour and so forth. So if I can get, if I get multiple time frames agreeing, then that's typically when I'm like, okay, this is probably what's coming down the pipe on the daily. And more often than not, that is the case unless there's manipulation. All right, so I'm going to show this chart. I'm going to go into detail now. I want you guys to keep in mind, this is not me telling you to run out and buy $1,000 worth of these tokens, okay? But this is about your train of thought and where the market is right now, okay? So let's see here. Where it be. That's not it. Where it be. There it is. All right. Okay. So here's the thing. When you guys are looking at the altcoin market, ultimately the goal is to invest in, I mean, the end goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin, ultimately. I mean, it's to accumulate more Bitcoin because we all believe that over the next 5 years, it's just going to continue to grow as altcoins. Some altcoins are going to fall off the face of the earth, and other altcoins are going to do exceedingly well, okay? But Bitcoin's always going to be number one. I mean, Bitcoin is the absolute granddaddy of them all. Now, the question is, because of the way the altcoin market has been beat to death, okay, just beat to death over this bear market, which altcoins could potentially prove more fruitful than holding Bitcoin in the short term? And so that's ultimately what this is about. It's about the mindset. We already know Bitcoin's use case. We already know what Bitcoin's good for. We already know where it's going. It's a store of value. It's good for a lot of different things. So if I were to spend 1,000, and these aren't in any order because they're all kind of different for different reasons. If I were using Tron as an example, for $1,000 right now today, I could buy 33,333 Tron. And its all-time high was 30 cents. So if I bought Tron at today's price and then I sold it at its all-time high of 30 cents, I'll make $10,000. So I basically make about an $8,000 return. Okay, A lot of people will be like, wow, okay, I can potentially turn $1,000 into $10,000. That sounds pretty good to me. Yeah, it is very good. All these projects that I'm showing could potentially be very, very fruitful. However, that's not what we're talking about, for one, because what we want is we want $1,000 to basically turn into 20,000. And we're going to go into some other fundamental details here, but I'm going to go through these examples first, and then I'm going to go into why I would or would not attempt to do this with any of these particular coins. Now, Cardano, you can buy 11,111 Cardano at today's price. Everybody knows I'm hugely, wildly bullish on Cardano. Now, its all-time high was $1.33, which means if I bought $1,000 worth of Cardano right now, and I do say when, because I think it quite literally is just a matter of time, Cardano, you're going to basically be at almost $15,000 when it hits its all-time high again. Huge gains with Cardano. And I know they're getting ready to launch their testnet, like right now, I'm pretty sure. Qtum, you can get 280 Qtum, which doesn't sound like a lot. You get 280 of these puppies right now, but its all-time high was $106, almost $107. So if you bought 280 of those right now for $1,000, you could potentially make $30,000 when it gets back to its all-time high. The question is, which of these tokens is likely to get back to or exceed its original all-time high? Well, all 5 of these, I think, are probable or possible. The only one that I'm not really sure about is Dent. Now, right now, you could buy 1 million Dent tokens for $1,000. 1 million. Its all-time high was 11 cents. Not that high. However, $1,000, if Dent were to go back to its all-time high, you're looking at $110,000. So basically $109,000 profit just buying $1,000 worth of Dent today. However, we're going to go into some of the fundamentals of these tokens a little bit. Not a whole lot, but we're going to dive into them a little bit. And I'm going to explain why I don't really think Dent's going to do this. It could be possible, but their supply is ridiculous, and they're kind of watering down their own value in some ways. Now, Aeon, which is, I am still mining Aeon right now, like with my Ethereum GPU miner that I built from scratch. I did a video showing you guys how I built it and what parts I was using. You can get 5,882 Aeon for $1,000. And its all-time high was $11.51, which means for $1,000, when it gets back to its all-time high, you could potentially be making about $66,000 in profit, almost 67 grand in profit with Aeon. Now, there are other coins out there that could very easily do just as well. Okay, I could have made a top 30 list just like this. So that in a nutshell, it's the question at this point is, which of these altcoins is more likely to reach and or exceed its all-time high before Bitcoin does? You buy Bitcoin right now, okay, so maybe it a little more than doubles. You buy Tron, Cardano, even Dent for that matter. Even if Dent, so let's look at Dent as an example, okay? All right. So we're going to go into Dent. I'm going to get rid of the picture here in a minute. Where's the picture? Here we go. All right. So looking at Dent, 5,675% is basically how much it needs to grow to get back to its all-time high. Its volume is actually still not terrible at $2.3 million a day in trading activity. That's not terrible. The problem is, though, 100 billion tokens in supply, with 72 billion of them already out. It's actually kind of a good thing, because the deflation, I mean, it can still get worse. There's a website, it's a tool that I actually reference sometimes, where it kind of measures the deflationary percentages of altcoins based off of their total circulating supply, or their total supply against their circulating supply. So, however, Dent is making moves. And if I go to TweetDeck, let's see what kind of let's see. All right. So on June 4th, they put out the world's #1 telco blockchain project with 16.5 million users is preparing to enable the trading of mobile packs for global audience via the simplified marketplace user interface in the Dent app. No registration for Dent exchange necessary. Now, prior to that, the last update was May 24th. They did the world conference. Dent.exchange are getting more and more awareness by the operators. The point is, Dent is still hustling. Dent is still out there. They're in the world. They're making partnerships. They're doing a lot of different things. So even though they have ridiculous supply, that to me is what they're doing is still more beneficial than some of these other projects that are virtually quiet. Let's see. Looks like all these guys are kind of active. Deep Brain Chain is taking a huge shit, and I don't know why, to be quite honest with you. I've been actually really frustrated with what's going on with Deep Brain Chain. They need to get their shit together. Aeon's been pretty active. Ivy Coin, February 27th. Ivy Coin has done jack shit. I know that they sold, some guy bought the company or something like that. They've been kind of keeping it under wraps for the most part. Not a whole lot going on. They've got nothing to say. Ivy Coin, that I thought could really give Ripple a run, hasn't done anything. And I'm really frustrated by that. And actually, I want to get like that Martini guy on the case here. I want him to kind of do some digging and find out what's the scoop on Ivy. Because they're not really saying much, and it's been really frustrating because I was really, really impressed with what they had going on. Debitum Network, where are you guys? What's happening? Why is everything so dead? Why is your volume next to nothing? Why does nobody seem to care about Debitum anymore? That's the point. I mean, from an easy fundamental perspective, you can see like open platform. I mean, I guess they're still active. I guess they still exist. There's so much internal FUD going on with open platform. This is one of the biggest projects that I saw in 2017 that I really expected to do well. They're not dead. They're still around. They're still doing stuff, but I think they're doing it with a much, much thinner team, and they've got an uphill battle to run. And if I'm to believe some of the FUD that I've read, then these guys may very well be caught up in court right now. And so that's not very good. Rewards.com could be wildly successful, still waiting on an exchange. Monarch Token, they're doing so much shit, but they're not on exchanges anywhere. What gives? I've even asked Beetle several times, when exchange? He never gives me a straight answer. I don't even know if he knows. I'm not calling you out, brother, but I want to know what's going on for the investors and everybody that's really pumped money into this. He has more partnerships and more things, more cogs in the wheel, more cogs in the machine than I think any other project I've seen. So it's not, I think a part of the frustration is I want to see this thing move on exchanges, because I think that he's done everything possible so far to set that up. I mean, he has so many solid relationships, and he's a great, wonderful guy. But there's no real definitive news on exchanges. I thought it was already supposed to be listed by now, and to my knowledge, it's not. And that gets really frustrating. Friend or not, guys, you guys know I call it how I see it. I just can't pull punches. I want to see what's happening with a lot of these projects, and I want some straight up answers. So that kind of thing is what you need to consider when you're looking at the fundamentals of these crypto projects. What are they doing now? Are they meeting their milestones? Have they continued to set new milestones throughout the past bear market? Or did they kind of hibernate and wait? thinking, well, when the market comes back, our coins will be worth more, everything will be worth more, we can get back to business as usual and start pumping ourselves. Those are big questions. Qtum, this is Qtum's this was an hour ago. This is their development updates from just an hour ago that they just released and what they've been doing. They're still active. So when you're looking at this kind of stuff and then you look at these projects from a fundamental perspective, and then you look at where they are now in the market and then where their all-time highs are, look, this could be a $30,000 profit trade buying Qtum right now. Where do you lose if they just got to their all-time high? And the thing of it is, we're talking about new money going into the space. I'm not talking about selling your Ethereum, selling your Bitcoin to buy into these, expecting it to grow faster. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if I had $1,000 cash and I'm entering the market, I'm buying into some of these projects, or I'm diversifying amongst multiple projects, figuring some of these guys are going to hit their all-time high. Maybe some of them don't. Some of these guys are going to far exceed their all-time high. Maybe some of them only reach their original all-time high. Whatever the case is. So that's ultimately it. Qtum getting delisted on some exchanges. Yeah, that's happening all over the place, though. And there's a lot of fun about the exchange listings and so forth. Look, liquidity is obviously very important for any project out there, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm not overly concerned with it. The exchange listings are going to come and go. Now, I made myself bigger because there's some things that I want to address to just people that are entering the space that are fairly new. One of the reasons that I put this video together isn't necessarily just to have a clickbait title, okay? A lot of this is because I know it's going to attract a lot of people that are constantly looking for answers outside of themselves. And the one thing that I want to stress to all of you guys is you're going to see, especially as we start diving deeper and getting bigger into the bull market, you're going to start seeing a lot more videos from guys like me telling you, look at how much money you can make. Look at how you could accomplish this. Look at how, all kinds of different methods or signal subscriptions and all kinds of stuff. You're going to have everybody out in the world telling you, I can show you how to make a lot of money. And the one piece of advice that I want to give everybody out there is quite simple. Don't listen to anything any one of us says. Take what we teach you and use that to lead you down a path of your own education. You have to understand what you're doing before you do anything. You cannot take action based off of something somebody said, potentially lose, and then blame that person. You need to have the conviction of your own investments, because in a market like this, you have to be able to hold through the tough times, average down during the losses, and you're only going to do that if you truly believe in what you're buying into. If I just tell you, I love Cardano, I'm buying a lot of Cardano, and you go and buy Cardano at 15 cents, it drops to 10 cents, you sell at a loss, but because I understood why I bought Cardano to begin with, and I understood the fundamentals, their future milestones, what's coming, that 5-cent drop doesn't faze me, I'm holding long. While you sold at a loss, put that money, and you continue to rinse and repeat because, quite frankly, you're ignorant to what you're actually doing. You're just following somebody else, which you cannot do. Education in the crypto space is what makes people money. Education is why us YouTubers do so well, because we're constantly learning, educating ourselves, and then we're making money, ultimately sharing that education with you, which is a great thing. But what we're doing is planting a seed in you to further your own self-awareness, your own education, understanding the risks associated with getting involved in the space, and so on. So as a parting word of advice, make sure you're doing everything you can to teach yourself everything that you have time for, I guess you could say, before you make any significant trades or you're doing anything in this business. Because there are so many shady people in crypto, even still, and it's going to get a hell of a lot worse. And you're never going to know who you can trust, who you can pay attention to. And I think it could get nasty. And I don't want to see anybody get burned, when things start to really pick up. So that being said, I will reduce myself back down to normal size, and I will sign off 35-minute video, and that's it. So I hope you guys have a really great day. It's Monday. I got a bunch of stuff going on. Crowmining.com's been kicking off. I did confirm, just to give everybody some updates on what's happening. Where are we at? Crow's Nest X. crowsnestx.com. We're good for July. We're gonna make some announcements for that. Crowmining.com has just been booming, man. I did not expect Crow Mining to blow up the way it did. I mean, we're probably selling 10, 15 units a day still. It's just absolutely crazy. Chainwise.us. Again, the whole point of this convention is to educate the masses, man. And I want to start really pumping this. I'm going to be making changes to the website. A lot of changes are going to come to this site here soon with the speakers, and I'm going to start really driving this. Obviously, I'm going to be making Crow's Nest X is going to be a big sponsor for this event. We're going to be doing a lot of different things in terms of marketing and guests and getting people actively involved. I also have another business venture. If I do this, it's going to be the last thing, but that I do to round out my whole arsenal of what I have coming. But I am potentially going to be buying into a trading bot platform. It's not Aquatos, and it's not because I don't like Aquatos. It's not like that. But this other platform will, I think, truly empower me to build a community within the platform itself and be active consistently daily. And I think it's going to be really, really important. And I just think, but man, they want a lot of money. Like, I'm trying to work with them. I need to know how much interest there's going to be. No, it's not Coin Lion. But I don't even want to say who it is. But I've talked to some people and it seems really solid, and I'm getting ready to dive in and start running some significant tests on the platform. It looks good, man, and there's just so many tools and so many different things, and I have not used it yet. And I'm not going to make a deal until I've used it and I've really grown accustomed to it. But no, it's not arbitrage. So anyway, I'll let everybody know. I mean, typically the first people that know anything that I've got going on are people in my Telegram channels. We've got the Telegram for Crow Mining. We've got the Telegram for Crow's Nest X. We've got the Telegram for the Murder of Crows, which is basically the general group. So on that note, guys, thank you so much. I really love seeing you guys, all your comments and everything. And, you guys are like a drug, man, because I just love seeing each and every one of you guys. So thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Stay productive, and I'll see you again soon. Crow your coins, folks.